Welcome to San Recap. Today I'm going to explain a 2019 action crime movie, Avengement. Before proceeding, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment on what your favorite part was, and subscribe to our channel for more. The film Avengement begins with the story of a man named Kane Burgess. Kane escapes the hospital. After beating up the cops, he is then seen walking up to a bar where he is challenged by the bodyguards, who insist that he can only enter the bar if he is a member. Kane of course beats them up and enters the bar. Bez the bartender serves Kane some whiskey. They have a little chat before she leaves him at the table. Meanwhile, some group of men Mo, Vern and Toon, who appear to be gang members, discuss in the bar about the disappearance of one of their kinsmen and the mysterious death of another. Toon tries to explain how the incident happened. There's a flashback showing he and Rook the dead gangster outside on a Tuesday night. Moments later they are attacked by an unknown man. Toon explains as Rook gets knocked out and as he tries to go after the assailant. Unfortunately, the assailant runs away. Just then, Kane laughs from across the room. He challenges the group about what Toon has been saying and calls him a liar. Toon continues his story to the group, but he was cut short by Kane, who tells Toon to tell his mates the truth about the events of that night. Kane then reveals to the group that he is the one who attacked Rook and Toon that night, and Toon acts cowardly and runs away. The bodyguards walk in and attack Kane, but he outsmarts them and brings out a shotgun. He threatens the crew and asks them for Lincoln, the crew's leader. Just then Hyde barges out of the other room, ranting about the noise outside before spotting Kane with the gun. Hyde tries to figure out where he knew Kane from. Just then he remembers Kane as Lincoln's baby brother. Hyde explains to the group that Kane got busted on a job and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. But Kane snaps and says it's 7 years now. Hyde then makes a joke about Kane's rough face. While arguing with Bez, one of the crew tries to attack Kane, but Kane shoots him in the leg. He then asks them to drop their mobile phones in a water jar, still screaming from the pain. Kane kicks and knocks the injured crew member out to keep him quiet. Hyde asks Toon if Kane was the one who attacked him the other night, but he says he doesn't recognize him. Kane then tells the crew he hopes that is enough proof he is the one that attacked Toon and Rook that night. Kane tells Bess to serve the crew a drink. Up next, Hyde walks to the bar, picks up a drink and starts a conversation with Kane, asking if prison turned him into a stone-cold person. Kane then hits Hyde with the butt of his gun and replies to him that not the prison did that, but his brother Lincoln, and asks him to come over to the bar. In a flashback, Kane is seen in a room with Lincoln's crew, Brooke and Lincoln's accountant Stokes. Kane tells Lincoln he wants to see him outside, but Lincoln says he's in the middle of a card game and that Kane could say whatever he has to say right there. Kane sits down and tells Lincoln that he's got a business proposition for him. He adds that he's talked it through with their mom. Kane then asks Lincoln for some capital, but Lincoln reminds him that he doesn't lend money to family. Kane gets angry and is about to leave when Lincoln calls him to sit down. Lincoln tells him if he wants to get the money, Kane has to do something for him. Kane agrees. Lincoln tells him to go see Hyde, and he will fill him in on all the details about the job. After that, Kane and Hyde are talking in an office. Hyde brings out a plastic bag and tells Kane that at exactly 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Mabel, an associate of Lincoln, is going to come for the bag. After she's gone, Kane will have to follow her home and bring back the bag. Hyde adds that if she causes Kane any trouble, Kane should knock her out. After he ended up in Humpbelmarsh, the most violent prison in England, Kane adds that he didn't have a criminal record, but he was thrown in the same unit as hardened criminals. Kane goes to the bathroom when he is blocked by one of the prisoners. This leads to a fight as Kane is attacked by some prisoners. A short while later he gets subdued, and he had his mouth smashed against the stairs. After fight with prisoners, Kane wakes up on the hospital bed. Kane complains about the kind of dentures he's given, but he accepts and says they make him look scary. In the next scene, Kane gets a visit from his mother, who complains about his health. She tells him that she spoke to another lawyer, but there's no money to pay him. Kane asks what Lincoln is doing to help, but his mother replies that Lincoln isn't doing anything. His mother ends her visit by telling him not to bring himself low like the other prisoners. Sometime after his mother's visit, Kane gets attacked by 2 prisoners and gets hit in the face with an object, but he defends himself and beats them up. 2 guards come in and take him away. Afterward, Kane narrates further that he kept on training to adapt to the prison life since he's got no choice. He explains he had to fight multiple prisoners to get better. While narrating, he tells them that he kept wondering why almost everybody in that prison wanted him dead. Then one day it became clear to him after he beat up one of the prisoners who attacked him. The prisoner tells Kane that it's nothing personal, and it was Lincoln that wanted him dead. Kane continues to narrate how he got stronger in prison. One of them pours a liquid on his face. The prison official informs Kane that his sentence has been increased by 2 years. Kane is seen in another scene, fighting the prisoners as he now takes joy doing it, after accepting that this is the life he has now. Kane has informed that another year has been added to his sentence again. In multiple flash scenes, Kane can be seen going wild, fighting not with prisoners anymore, but prison guards which got him into solitary. In the next scene, Kane gets a visit from his mother, who tells him that she has cancer, and she won't be able to see him often again. A flashback shows how Kane beats the prison guards in the elevator after going to see his mother. Now in the bar, Toon and Vern say they need a piss. Kane tells them to ease themselves in a corner of the bar. Just then Hyde challenges him, and says he didn't remember Kane being a gangster. Kane tells him he's been coming a long way since the day Hyde gave him the job to go get the bag from Mabel. In another flashback, Mabel is knocked out by a car while chasing after Kane. Afterward, Kane gets arrested. In the police station, the detective in charge, O'Hara, tells him how they have been monitoring Mabel since she's in connection with Lincoln, who is into the drug business. Kane tries to tell O'Hara and Evans, the two police officers in the room, that he doesn't know anything about his brother's illegal business. The police try to persuade him to snitch on his brother, but he says no. Back in the present day, Lincoln bangs on the door. Lincoln comes in with 3 other people. Lincoln tells Kane it is good to see him, but Kane tells him to take out his mobile phone and any weapon on him. At that time, Kane had a firearm pointed at Hyde's head as leverage. Lincoln tells Kane that he is not thinking straight after he checks the man Kane shot in the leg earlier, and confirms that he is dead. Kane adds that he has been violent since he found out that Lincoln put a price tag of £20,000 on his head in a very dangerous prison. Lincoln then tells Kane that he had a man inside the police station that was supposed to make everything go away. Kane rants and says he couldn't believe Lincoln trusted Evans over his own family. Lincoln urges Kane to forget about his revenge mission. However, Kane mentions the name of people who have been affected by Lincoln's illegal business. Hyde provokes Kane and this gets him shot by Kane. Lincoln gets angry and tells Kane that he can't forgive him anymore now for what he's just done. Kane says he doesn't care and brings out a cell phone, telling Lincoln he got it from his accountant after he paid him a visit earlier. Later on, Kane shows Lincoln that he's moved all the money from his account. Kane then tells Lincoln that everything he has done is taking revenge for all the lives his brother has destroyed. In a flashback, O'Hara is seen making a deal with Kane, who is in a hospital bed after being attacked in the prison. Kane agrees to help O'Hara take down Lincoln if only he gets to see his mother. Kane tells the crew that they should all go and leave him and Lincoln alone since he's got no business with them. Bez hits Kane with a bottle from behind, a fight ensues, and Bez provides the crew with weapons. But Kane easily beats them up. During the fight, Toon opens the door and runs outside. Toon comes back in with a gun and aims to terminate Kane, but shoots one of the crew instead. Meanwhile, Kane gets the gun and shoots them. After Kane is done, he walks up to the bar and takes a drink. Just then Lincoln brings out a gun to attack Kane, but fortunately for Kane the gun wasn't loaded.